And go. Hi, this is Sean, and we're live in Maya, and we're going to do a run cycle. What I want to do first of all for my run cycle is take off some of the animation. So I'm going to go back to 30 frames. I said 30 frames. I said 30. Great. And I'm going to take off from 30 to 15 of my walk cycle. Yeah, why would you overwrite the number that I'm typing in there? Let's just add on to the other number that's already there. Stupid. Where's my key? Alright, you go away. Alright, one more time. 30 frames. Select all. Get rid of the shenanigans I had going on before. Alright, that means it's just going to stop. Although apparently I have more out of range keys than I thought. Where's that one? Oh. Why is it syncing like that? Yeah. Pre-infinity, curves, post-infinity, linear. Get rid of you, whatever you are. Do you guys see anything that should cause that? Here's a really good way to manually walk without anything on it. Okay, so let's take our walk cycles, because we know we got those. Here's our walk cycles. And we want to select all the stuff. And we're going to use this to make our run cycles, because it's easy to do. Everything's kind of set up already. So I'm going to delete those keys there. And I'm going to delete these keys here. So I'm keeping 1 and 15. And I'm going to take 15 and I'm going to move it to, do we want to do 20? Let's do it 20, and then we can always speed it up. So I'm going to move 15 to 10. So now our cycles are from there to there. So with a run cycle, you start here up in the air. So it's still the same idea, right? You're still, this is the longest spread. In a walk cycle, you start at your longest point. So so in a run cycle, it's the same thing. It's your longest point in the animation, where they traverse the most distance. And I don't know if you guys are using this model or what model you're using. And I'm keeping his body very straight right now. Just putting him in this running position here. And then I want to do the exact same thing again. But of course the other way. Yeah. That one's forward. So that one's... Oh, I got the arms backwards. That's my problem. That one should be forward. This one should be back. Okay. Now we're okay. That one's back. So we got that, and then that. Oh, I'm a little higher than I was before. So. Okay, dude, close enough for television. Alright, then we want to select all, and we want to set a key on frame 10 and a key on frame 1, and then we want to copy frame 1 to frame 20. And we make sure that we only have 20 frames in the slider. Okay, so now between these two, right, we need to bring the foot down and then have it spring out again. So we're going to split these, so on frame 5, this foot, which is out in front, is going to hit the ground. And we want to have this go down so that the knee bends a little bit. Now, depending on how heavy he is, like a heavy character will come way down, but a lighter, more spritey character will not come down quite as far. And then we want to do the same thing with the other side. So if that's our frame 15. And I'm hitting him right underneath his body, right? Is where I'm making his weight come down. Right on the line. That one's in front of the line. This one, we'll make this one in front of the line too. I don't know what's up with that toe, but it bugs. Okay. Anyways. So with only like 4 keys, we have a fairly decent run from a balance point.
This is a reminder. Give Puka her medicine. This is a reminder. Give Puka her medicine.
Okay. Oops, somebody's at my door. Give that a shot and let me know how it goes, okay? I'm going to pause the video here and we'll continue on. Resume. Alright. So, what are we doing here? We're going to look at it from the front now, right? Were you guys all able to modify your walk cycles to be run cycles or just repose it? Either way is fine. So there are two kinds of runs. One's where the arms go way out to the sides and one where they stay close to the body. I thought I had this one more close to the body. The one when you start going the arms way out to the side, it starts looking like the Tom Cruise run. Tom Cruise power run. You guys know what I'm talking about? No, you've never seen the Tom Cruise power run? Alright. Let me get that for you. You know, when there's a an entire YouTube video dedicated to Tom Cruise's run,
I have decided to
that there's something going on.
I'm your head.
Where is duty? Where is sacrifice?
Yes, yes, yes. Dragons are cool.
Why don't we quietly get out of here?
Can you step in here?
Go ahead.
Now, if we run, they find us. I'm sorry, Dawn. You're gonna have to run again.
Get out of there. You're not gonna make it!
Want me to run?
Run! There you go. With the arms kicking like that. With the there you go. That's the Tom Cruise power run. Where like karate chops the air as he's going. Chop 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 chop.
chase me.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's what the video's about. But the joke, the animation joke, right, is that it's the epitome of like a hammed up run. Like Tom Cruise is horrible at running on camera, and nobody ever says anything about it. But if you stop to look at it, you're like, what the hell is he doing? What's with that little karate chop run? Well, honestly, I think he does it so you can see his face, right? So he keeps his arms out of when the camera's on him, and his arms are flailing. On a normal person, their arms would be all up much higher, but he keeps his hands low to these little karate chop things, and so that you get a better close-up of him. See, his arms at no point cross his face, or yeah, so in animation, there's a whole bunch of these weird things where there's like different people who are famous for doing stupid things on camera. And so then that becomes like a meme while you're working. It's like, well, at least I do a Tom Cruise run. But I sort of did. So I'm not sure why this arm is so far out. Oh, but I kind of like that. So on the back, going back, I want to have the arm come out a little bit, and coming forward, I want it to stick close to the body. Now I'm doing the Tom Cruise run. So this is just the base of the run to get us started. If we come here to our split, we can keep this leg straight, right? And it'll look like it has more of a push off. We can also come here to this split and have this leg, when it gets closer, 5, it's down. So if the leg is extended like this and then it bends as it hits, it looks like weight is hitting it. So we have that going on there, and then as it lifts off, it's still touching the ground on 7, and then we come to this side, go 2 before it starts, 2 before the main thing, bring it down, doop, doop. There's its main plant, and then afterwards we're going to extend this leg so it looks like he's exerting muscles again, and play it again. And that run has a little bit more weight to it. I'm still keeping the upper body pretty tight, but where does my thing keep going? Come back here. It probably wouldn't be so bad if we did this here on frame 5, and then if we're doing it on frame 5, okay. We also need to do it on frame 15. down, up, down. That might be a little too much, but you get the idea. Now there's a little bit more weight to it. So if this were a heavier person or a less athletic person, we would slow down the run and have the feet on the ground more. If this were more like an elfin person, we would keep the feet up in the air more. Although our feet are in the air for a good amount of time on this one. Unfortunately, we only have 20 frames to screw around with in order to make this work. You can also do stuff like, excuse me, make it more purposeful by kicking this knee way up in the air like that. Hi, dog. Everybody says hi. Purposeful is not the right word. Deliberate is the right word. Hi. What do you want? What are you after? You got your medicine, you got a cookie, and we're out of food. So, sorry. Doesn't pay very much being a teacher. See, now he's like, when you're tired you do this, where you're more purposeful with your, it's less flowy. By raising that knee a little bit, he comes down harder on it. If we can also do weird stuff, like have him come way down. But then you have to have him be up in the air. This is to give him a little bit more weight, so. Where's 10s there? So there. I don't like that as much. So if we were to extend this, we'd have to extend our time and stuff. But if he had more air time, so like if he let woo and hung out here for a little bit, like if I added like about 5 more frames in here, where he would just glide and then he would come back down and go woo. So if it's hard to think about this. Okay, so I need 10 more frames in this animation. So let's extend it to 30. And then I want to select all. And on frame 2, I want to select everything. And on frame 2, move it 5 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after 15, I want to select all these. I want to select all these. Come on. Well, it might need a little work, but yeah, you get the idea. So there's more of a coast in the air, but this would stay this frame here. Would also go here. And you give it a little bit of a drift. Oh, no, no, no. Just you. And you. And you. And then this one we can go like this. Okay. Woo, woo, woo. It's a really glidey one, an anime run. I'm coming! So, that's how you can modify a run. What kind of run do I want you guys to do? The first one I did would be great. What do you mean? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so let's say, well, there's a little bit of slop in there, but so a run is anywhere from 12 to 20, depending on how fast the run is. Like a sprint is probably 12, but a run is about 20, and then a jog is probably 25, and a walk is 30, right? So somewhere in there. Yeah. So that is more of a guideline than a rule. But those are numbers that I seem to come back to all the time. There is no like a run must be this amount of frames. I've done runs that are only 10 frames long, which is really hard. But just so you understand the relationship to the three different animations, and it's easier if you break it down. Like if I had to go about this, and I was doing it for my first time, I would set those as my markers, because then that's also you have then a measurable distance. So like if the run is 20 and the jog is 25 and the walk is 30, then you know that those 5 extra frames per walk cycle is an increase in speed and distance. But it's a measurable kind of one, right? It should be, if it's this, then it's this. If it's this, then it's this. For instance, if it's a run, he covers per cycle he covers 10 feet, and if it's a jog per cycle he covers say 7 feet, and if he's walking he only covers 5 feet, something like that. Yep, see you later. All right, and I'll write the homework. The homework is to do a run cycle, but have it run across have it move in place. So a run cycle that lasts for, what are they, 20? So 100 frame run cycle, and we'll do it just like you can do it just like I showed you before. And I'll run through how to do that again here. Okie doke. All right. So I'm going to undo my silly run cycle. Do you guys kind of understand, though, the various things you can do to an animation in order to get different emotions and stuff out of them? Or different weights or different feels? Good. I think that's a good one to end with. Okay, so one more time. You guys remember how to do this from when I just did it like 5 seconds ago? But didn't record it. So say we want him to run for 100 feet or 100 frames, which is 5 steps. Knock it off, dog. Puka, no! Okay. So the first thing we do, does anybody remember what we did? So we selected everything, right, and then we go Windows, Graph Editor, Animation Editor, Graph Editor, and we select all the animation, and we come up here to curves, and we go post infinity because we want the cycle to happen after the animation. So now this will keep our animation going throughout the entire thing. So he'll just run now in this cycle. I'm not sure why that's not the last frame. 20 does go into 100 5 times, right? So how is that not the last frame? That's the last frame. Why isn't that the last frame? "96 is my last pure cycle frame. And we'll just leave it at 100 because it'll just keep going. Oh, it's probably because this ends at 20 but doesn't start until 21. So by the time it gets here, it's 4 frames off. Interesting. Math. Math is hard. Okay. So then what's the next thing we do? We create objects, right? Markers that we're going to use for where his feet hit. Well, his feet are always sitting in the middle. So these are going to be kind of weird markers. We're going to scale them up because we need them to touch his toe so we can tell where the heck we are. So the front of his toe is touching both of those, right? Okay, go through the first cycle to frame 20. And we move this forward so now the back toe is touching the front of this one. And then we move these forward. And we grab the mover object again. Oh, I didn't do the number 10. Ah, darn it. Okay, get those back there. Okay. You. Foot switches at number 10. You need to be there. Now I can move. It's every time the foot switches forward and backwards, by the way. And make sure this foot's touching there. I can move that to there. Weird. It's wigging out. It keeps going back. Oh, I know why. It's because remember, my bad. And it did the same exact thing I did before. I put cycle. So post infinity, I want it to be linear, not cycling. Yeah. Hitting there. Hitting there. Toe hit, right? Great. Toe hits there. Move these two forward. And this goes, and the toes hit again. Doot, doot. Now, of course, there's another way of doing this without the stupid thing, you can use math to do this without the guides. So we know, and if I close this and go here to the channel editor, we know that in one step, or we can even do 2 steps, it'll be a little faster. We know that in 2 steps, right, our character is translating 301, in 20 frames he goes 301 units, whatever that is. So in 5 times that would be 1506 or something. Oops. Not there. We want to go here to the end, and then we want to go 1506. And then we can delete these because we don't need to see them. And we can watch them run across. Oh, what did we forget to do? General editors at... No, we want animation editors, graph editors. I said animation editors, graph editor. Stop it. Why would I ever want that full screen? Select the mover object and see it's on a spline-based tangent, and we need to make it a linear tangent so that it goes with that to one thing to the other without any monkey business of easing in and easing out. So that is by far, if you can figure out what distance your guy needs to travel, that is by far the easiest way of doing this. Because moving those things around, the little blocks around, is rough. If you have them jumping like Pixar, like, hey, he runs but he jumps really far here and then lands, then you need those little blocks to tell where you're going. And I would say that this looks like it's slipping a little bit, maybe. So if it's slipping a little bit, that means it's not going fast enough, so you can increase this to like from 15.6 to 15.15 or something. And then it moves just a little bit faster, covers more distance. There we go. Run, Tom, run. Any questions?